Hey there, I'm Johnny May from Piano with Johnny, and today I'm going to teach you my gospel jam from my gospel groove series. Now this is a really fun gospel groove to play. Check it out. So this is a lot of fun to play, and this is for intermediate level players. So if you're on the early side or even the later side of an intermediate level, this is going to be perfect for you. So let's start the lesson. Okay, so I want to actually start with the chord progression because it's really important to understand, what chords you're playing as you're working through this particular groove. Now, we are in the key of A flat major, and A flat has 4 flats, right? That's your A flat scale, okay? So the first chord is really an A flat chord, just an A flat major chord. You can play this, as a big A flat chord like this, A flat, C, E flat, and A flat, right? Nice big A flat chord. And essentially we're walking up A flat to kind of like an A flat 7, right? And this is like A flat, C, E flat, G, and then we're going up to the 4 chord, which is this chord. There's different ways of playing this chord, but this is a D flat 7 chord. We've got the roots here on D flat, and then you've got B, D flat, F, and A flat. That is your D flat 7 chord. And that is the basic chord progression here, is we're going from the A flat chord, which is the 1 chord, because we're in the key of A flat, so that is the 1 chord. And then the 4 chord is our D flat chord. That's because it's built on the 4th degree of an A flat scale. So we call it the 4 chord. And that's the essential progression. And this is also very, very common. It's probably the most common chord progression in gospel music, is going, I'm just going from 1 to 4 to 1 to 4. So that's kind of what we're doing, is we're building a groove around this particular chord progression, okay? So let's go ahead and first we'll cover the right hand. Now, one of the great things with this groove is it's really repetitive. So once you learn the first two measures, you're gonna have like 90% of this groove learned, okay? So there's actually not that much to it, okay? So let's go ahead and first look at the right hand. And we're actually starting on this A flat major chord, like I showed you earlier, A flat, C, E flat, and A flat. By the way, this red dot here is middle C. In fact, in all of my lessons, when you see the red dot, just know that is middle C. It's kind of a reference point for you. So, start on the A flat chord, and then the next chord we're going to play is this A flat 7 chord, but we're sort of changing the orientation of the notes. So we're taking the 3rd of the chord. Normally this chord would have a 3rd, and we're putting it in the bass, and then we're omitting it from the right hand, and then we're doubling up the A flat. So this is a kind of, a different position for a dominant 7th chord, but it creates a lot of excitement. So it's A flat, E flat, G flat, and A flat. All right, that's the second position, and then we're going to go to this, D flat major chord here in the right hand. This is A flat, D flat, F, and A flat, okay? And those are your 3 sort of positions for the right hand. We're going to play the notes, we're going to play the chords sometimes, more or less than others, but those are the only 3 positions that you kind of need to learn for this particular, for about 90% of this tune, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the A flat chord, and then we're going to play that A flat 7 twice, and then you're going to go to your D flat chord, and then you're going to play that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then go back to your A flat chord. So it's like this, A flat, and then the A flat 7 twice, and then your D flat major, and that's going to be 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to your A flat major. That's it. Now let's talk about the rhythm. So the rhythm is a little tricky. Here's the rhythm. Just listen to it and kind of try to absorb the rhythm, kind of try to feel it in your body. Check it out. 3, 4, 1. Now, we're going to count it out, but this particular rhythm uses a very short note duration called 16th notes. And the way we count 16th notes are 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and there's different ways of counting 16th notes, but this is the way I like to count them. So here's how it works with these 16th notes. Check it out. 1E and 2E and 3E and See how that works? 3E and and then we have 4E and okay? So that's measure 1. We'll do it again. Check it out. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so you're kind of pushing the chords ahead of the beats, and then measure 2 goes like this. 1E and 2E and 3E and then you have 4E and back to the A flat chord. Okay? Once more on measure 2, here it is. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and you're back to the A flat chord. Okay? Let's put both measures together, just the right hand. Here we go. We're going to go nice and slowly and play along with me. Okay? Here we go. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2 and 3E and 4E and 1. And that's the rhythm. And you're going to want to work on speeding that up. Eventually, this is a pretty good tempo, kind of a medium tempo. 1E and 2 and 1E and 2 and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2, right? And then a little bit faster. And you'll notice that I make one of the notes kind of short, or rather the chords. Just listen again. See that one? Ba, ba, right? Ba, ba, ba. That's short, and then ba, ba, ba. Okay? So anytime you play on that 16th note, right? Let's see, 3E and that's going to be short. All right? And that is basically your right hand pattern. So make sure that's nice and solid. And then we're going to talk here about the left hand. Okay? Now, the left hand is really easy to play. Okay? The left hand goes like this. That's it. Not hard to do at all. So what I want to do first is let's go ahead and just talk about the notes. Rather, we'll talk about the octaves, because we're essentially just playing octaves, just breaking them up. But let's go over the notes first. So we have A flat like this, big A flat octaves. Then you go to C, and we're basically walking up here, you know, this A flat 7 chord over C, which is the third of the chord. Big D flat chord, this is our D in the left hand. And then we've got E flats in the left hand. By the way, what is this chord? This sounds amazing. This sounds really cool. Well, this is called an E flat 9 sus 4. And what's that? What's an E flat 9 sus 4? Well, first let's start with this. An E flat 9 is an E dominant 7 with a 9. That's what an E9 is, right? It's an E dominant 7 with a 9. So an E flat 9 sus 4, well, what's the sus 4? Well, a sus 4 is when you take the third, the G, and you suspend it up to the 4th degree. And there is your E flat 9 sus 4 chord. And that's what we're doing, is we're taking these notes and we're sort of breaking it up. So we're taking the A flat D and the F, right? And then putting the E flat on the bottom. Okay, and there it is, E flat 9 sus 4. There's no B flat in the chord, okay, but sometimes you can omit the 5th of the chord. In fact, that's very common in jazz and blues and gospel to take out the 5th note of the chord. So that is your E flat 7 sus E flat 9 sus 4 chord, very, very common in gospel music. When you get to the 5 chord, right? Instead of going to that, right? Standard E flat 7 chord, go to this chord. It sounds way cooler, and it builds. It's more suspenseful. Okay, so what we're doing in the left hand, just kind of work on that walk up: A flat, C, D flat, E flat. Right? Those are your notes, and then we're going to do this cool pattern. Okay, and that's basically going bottom, bottom, top, bottom for each of the notes. Then we do that on C. Bottom, bottom, top, bottom. Then D flat, E flat. And that's your pattern. And just kind of get comfortable with that. Just keep repeating it over and over. Now, when you end the phrase and you go E flat down to A flat, sometimes I find the fingering better if I, instead of going, you know, pinky and then down to pinky, that's kind of hard to play. It's hard to be accurate. So one thing you can do is when you get up to the E flat, 3, 4, and 1. 4, index finger, that's your 2 finger, down to A flat. And that can really help with the accuracy. And then just loop that, get real comfortable with it. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's put the hands together. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this gospel jam groove. You can find the full-length groove on pianowithjonny.com, and I also have a number of other really fun gospel grooves that are in my Gospel Groove series, so be sure to check those out as well. And also be sure to check out the Piano with Jonny membership. This gives you access to all of my video piano tutorials, and I teach you lots of different songs, lots of different styles like jazz, blues, pop, rock, boogie, ragtime, swing, Latin, funk, so many really fun styles. And you also get access to a huge selection of sheet music. We do live monthly events like live workshops and Q&As, and you also get personalized coaching from me. So be sure to check out the Piano with Jonny membership. It was a lot of fun for me to teach you this lesson, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.